What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to 7CR. I'm Tibbercat, your Titan main. We got Fates Pyro, Resident Roll on the Ground Gang, and Gearshifter09, the man with the handheld supernova. So,
that's me.
Let's get right into it. Had our new season drop. Have tons of gear to talk about. We have a new resource for y'all. Where instead of a community question this time around, we're going to talk to you about a couple of sites that really help manage things in Destiny, quite literally. The first, of course, being Destiny Item Manager. If you saw the TWAB this week, they did add it into... You can actually download the app directly from a QR code in Destiny now, which is huge for them. They've been around for a while, but to have them actually endorsed by Bungie is amazing. So my hat's off to them. DIM, if you're unfamiliar, it lets you manage your items in Destiny, move them between characters. You can create loadouts and have them pre-saved, so it's literally push a button. If you're in orbit or at a social space, it'll automatically equip all of those weapons for you. If you want to optimize your loadouts, so like let's say you want to have all your stats at a certain threshold, you literally can enter all that in and it will put all the possible gear combinations that'll get you to those stats that you want. Which I love doing because that's how I created the super suit. I felt like Iron Man, pulling all my pieces together and just throwing them on and going into the Crucible was fantastic. So, combine that with the main one that we want to talk about today called D2 Gunsmith. D2 Gunsmith is a site that we're going to put the links down for both of these down in the description so that way y'all can enjoy and utilize them. D2 Gunsmith will let you search for a gun in the game. So let's say, for the sake of an example, this week's Trials gun is the Messenger. We're going to search for the Messenger, and it shows the list of all the possible perk combinations. And they're actually selectable. So you can select what barrel you want, what mag, what perk 1, what perk 2 you want. If you want to put a mod on it, you can select what mod it will do, and even the masterwork and what level the masterwork is. So you can see what these perks and everything will do to the weapon as far as stats, and it'll build it in real time so you can see it. So, for example, if I want to put a masterwork of range and I put it at 10, it'll see the plus 10 on the range bar go up. So it's really cool in that aspect. What really makes it awesome is that it generates a link that you can put in a text file on your PC, and you could make it where DIM reads from that text file and put it as a wish list. So if you ever are searching for a gun that's something you've been wanting, and let's say you maybe got the roll and you never realized it, you could literally put is : wish list, and it will read that wish list text file and show you every gun that you have that's on that wish list. There's also a way to link it with the gun guru himself, Mercules, his wish list or his PvP rolls. And if you do this, you will be amazed at how many times that something might have dinged as a god roll and you wouldn't have even known it. Highly recommend those. We're actually going to be using Gunsmith on our screens while we're talking about what we want to talk about in this episode, which is loot. But before...
Yeah, baby.
Exactly. We've been complaining about loot being slim, and this season actually has some good ones. I know I have a favorite already. The Far Future Sniper is... It is going to beat Adored. Just for the simple fact that I can get a handling masterwork on it. The one I have already is really good. I messaged Chance and I told Fates the same thing. I was dumping on kids harder than a high fiber diet. It was just disgusting. But that's my favorite. Fates, you got a favorite out of the box yet?
Out of the box. Bottom dollar.
All right.
Simply because I haven't gotten to play a ton, but my first Gambit match, bottom dollar drop. Not a great roll. Super solid gun.
was about to say it's a stat stick, ain't it?
It's, I mean, not insanely. Few things to note. It is a 120 energy slot, which is wonderful. Range isn't bad. It's 64. Handling, stability, and reload, fairly low. It has 66 aim assists, which isn't bad. The other thing that I think is what makes it feel so great, the recoil direction is a straight up and down 85.
Perfect.
So
and if
it's
you
not
remember our
kicking to the
talks
left,
about,
it's kicking to the right. Yeah.
if you remember our talks about recoil direction, you don't necessarily want a high number. If that number ends in a 5, it's always going to be straight up and down. So when you look at, you're putting a counterbalance mod that's going to add a plus 15, look and see how close to a 5 you already are just before you throw that on, because sometimes it might help you, sometimes it may hurt you. So, little quick tip.
Yeah. The bad things about it, I guess. The perk pool is enormous, and its drop rate super low. I'm kind of curious to see what happens as people rank up Gambit to see if it maybe increases the drop rate a little bit. That's just me being kind of curious and hopeful. Bungie thought that far ahead.
Yeah,
I doubt it, but you know,
I have a feeling they're going to buff its drop rate.
I mean, my role is not that great.
I think they might keep those rates low just to incentivize going back and forth on these activities.
That or thin the perk pool. Well, I see them doing one of two, because the way it is right now, it's really hard to get something people want. And when it comes to things like this, Bungie listens. PvP-wise, not so much.
I've got either corkscrew, small bore, extended mag, or flared magwell, hipfire grip, opening shot. Hipfire grip, kind of awful, right? Opening shot definitely helps, and the fact that it's in 85, you know, straight up and down recoil.
Go for the 360 no scope.
Super convenient gun. What little Crucible I've played so far, I have been smacking people around with it. I enjoy it. We'll definitely be farming out a god roll of it probably, along with a couple others. Just don't know what they're going to be like yet because they're not released. Looking at you, Palindrome.
Yeah, that could be good. What about you, Gear Shifter? What do you got that you have used so far that you are loving that's new?
All right, let me preface this by saying I have spent a good few days going to war against the Fallen in the Nightfall ordeal, grinding out, looking and hoping for the Sleeper Simulant catalyst to drop. Eventually it did, but along the way, I came across a few really good gems, I think. We're going to start with the one you already mentioned, Far Future. Mine's got a Quick Draw Frenzy. Quick Draw is really nice, makes it feel snappy. Frenzy, it's like, what's that perk on Recluse? Master at Arms? It's like that, but like having it on a sniper rifle and having it on, like pretty much permanently, so long as you're like in combat.
Does it proc in PvP?
Wonderful.
I haven't seen.
I haven't tried it in PvP yet. I have it on my rocket as well, and it might have proc. I would have to go back and look through some clips.
I have Frenzy. I have Frenzy on a bow with the other perk, the other new bow perk.
Impulse Amplify.
Yeah, yet to try it, but kind of low key.
If that works in PvP, that is nasty because that Impulse Amplifier. First of all, I have it on my rocket, and it like
it's basically outlaw for your rocket
goes all the way. Pretty much, yeah. It's so good. It's really good and really unique. I'm glad they added it.
I'm wondering what it does to the bow. That one's the one I'm curious, because my ideal role for that bow will be Impulse Amplifier with Swashbuckler. Mm-hmm. I got Archer's Tempo with Swash, and I like it. I've already used it in PvP, and being a Titan main, Titan go punch, then proceed to one-shot everybody with bow.
The Swash will definitely have you one-shotting. The Impulse Amplifier will
with the fast
probably make the bow feel. They'll probably make it feel like a hit scan weapon as opposed to a projectile one, which is nice.
Well, I'm really hoping to give that a shot. But as we go through this, we're going to try and to give us some sense of organization and me not talk over everybody, because I know I'm guilty of that a lot. We're going to try and take it one at a time, go through the loot that we've seen in Gunsmith that we are looking at and wanting. I will let Mr. Pyro over here have the messenger because that is his baby and I know he wants it.
I will absolutely. I'm letting you know I'm downloading my aimbot right now for trial. No, I'm just kidding.
Kidding.
Don't use.
But starting with Fates, let's go. What are you looking for on that thing? Because I know that's what you were going with.
So, thing to note, and this is actually props to Bungie to kind of sticking to their word a little bit. So, I was a big fan of Redrix. They did mention that some of the perks from Pinnacle weapons could be making a return down the line. And with that, Desperado is now back. And it is on the Messenger, which is wonderful. So if I had to look at the Messenger, out of the barrels, I'd probably say does have a fair amount of range on it, a 69 range stat. I'd probably want like fluted, or I would even probably take one of the range barrels if I had to. Barrel's not necessarily a deal breaker for me unless I'm at the point where I already have a good roll. I'm looking for God roll kind of deal, like the perfect God roll. Outside of that, magazine wise, I would take Hayakawa. I would definitely want Ricochet. Or even light mag or flared would also be good. The reload on it is kind of slow. It was kind of slow in D1 too, but any of that would work. I would even be okay with alloy mag at that point. The first perk column gets kind of interesting. There's a couple. Honestly, all these perks are really kind of solid on their own. You have the choice between rapid hit, Zen moment, killing wind, outlaw, moving target. If I had to pick like my God roll, I mean, other than the obvious outlaw kill clip roll that you can get, I'd probably say something like rapid hit Desperado. I would even take rapid hits Headseeker or like killing wind Headseeker or killing wind Desperado, but I would probably want rapid hit Desperado.
Right.
Outside of the standard outlaw kill clip roll. Obviously, I mean, if I got outlaw kill clip, I would be, a happy man.
If I remember right, rapid hit at 3 stacks already outdoes outlaw. If I remember right, and I mean with a 3 bullet burst, you'll be outdoing outlaw with just 1 trigger.
I would even take rapid hit kill clip. I'm just saying, generally speaking, most people are looking at outlaw kill clip.
That's the classic one. It's just with the changes, rapid hit is slightly better now.
I was just talking specific, standard God roll. You know what I mean?
Yeah. All right.
But yeah, I mean, like, I would definitely want Desperado. Desperado was people talk about Pinnacles being overpowered and stuff. Redrix, I feel like, other than Randy's, shout out to the people who loved Randy's throwing knife. I would say those two were probably the most balanced Pinnacle weapons we've gotten before sunsetting.
Yeah, I can get behind that. All right, Gear Shifter, what's your role that you're looking at?
Man, it's a few of them I'm going after, but if I have to pick one that I really, really want, it's the Frozen Orbit from the Crucible, looking like a Her Benevolence. Triple tap Vorpal, flared Magwell for that stability and reload speed, and then Food Barrel for stability and handling. This would be like pretty much strictly for PvE because I got a similar Trophy Hunter with the same role that I used to like slay out bosses. And it would just be nice to have this in my arsenal for the next year going forward.
All right, I can get behind those. The one I'm wanting is not available yet because it hasn't popped up from trials. I got my eye on that Igneous Hammer. It looks amazing. First column is, or for barrel, let's see. Definitely go with Hammer Forge, bullets, ricochet rounds. Then the perk column, the For almost all of them are solid picks, much like the Messenger, except for Subsistence. I'm not a fan. And in the second column, or second perk column, Celerity and One for All are also bad ones. So I'm sure I'll get those on my gun every time. Because RNG hates...
Subsistence One for All, here you go. You'll take it in your luck.
But ideally, I would like a Killing Wind Rampage roll, so that way I can get the... After my first kill, I can start getting the 2 taps and battle... Or I keep wanting to call it Battle Runner, because I remember from D1 as Battle Runner. But that'll be letting me move around the map quicker. I have it on a Hawkmoon. Love it. Shout out to Gear Shifter for carrying my ass through that thing the second time. I'm sorry, I was heavy.
So good.
The backpack honestly, might have ripped a little bit.
I feel like that gun, like, you could get, other than Subsistence or One for All or Celerity, I would be happy with pretty much anything at that point. It looks even better than bottom dollar.
I feel like you'd have a better chance of getting the roll you're wanting out of this. The only downside is you are competing with every other Crucible weapon or other Trials weapon in the loot pool plus all the armor. Good news, armor is new.
Is that still going to hold true, though?
Do you think they maybe reset the pool for people going in? So, like, if the Messenger is the only thing in your loot pool this time around?
So, my question would be, since the new Trials since Trials weapons, and not the new weapons, I'm talking like Astral and all that, Soul, I'm assuming they all have new perks in their pool, right? And some of them you can't get.
Right.
Right? Like Astral does, right? We were just talking about that before we started.
Yeah, they've gutted the Astral Horizon. If you haven't seen,
they absolutely got it. But
slide shot's not in the loot pool anymore.
Yeah, so my point would be, like, am I going to have, like, so I have obviously an Astral Horizon that's fairly good. I wish the Masterwork was range, but neither here nor there. Is that version of it where I can get quick draw opening shots still going to be in my loot pool, or is the loot pool now reset for Trials?
That's something we can find out. We're going to find out tomorrow, that's for sure.
Because that's just going to be awful if I have to manage I have to manage old guns, new versions of Astral, and, like, you know what I mean? Like, that's just, I don't know, it's convoluted. I feel like I hope they reset it.
If they do, the Messenger's going to be living in the perk pool for a while until I get the roll I want. I should have done that before with other weapons, but I did not. And I thought that you would only, like, okay, you unlocked the weapon on your, like, let's say for me, I'm named Titan. I unlocked the Sniper on my Titan. I never got the one I wanted. When Sniper was finally up again, I played on my Hunter because that is my second best class. I used to main Hunter when Destiny 1 started. So does that mean I'm a roll on the ground gang veteran since I mained it originally?
I'll talk to the council.
I'm the Hunter Titan liaison.
We'll bring it to the council.
The missing link.
The missing link. Let me throw them knives.
That's honestly a fair assessment of a Titan. The missing link. He's definitely caveman like.
I mean, Titan go punch. Anywho, I played Hunter thinking, okay, I've unlocked the Sniper now. The Sniper should be the only thing in my loot pool because I've never played Trials on him for anything else. I turn in my tokens, freaking rocket launcher. It's like, thank you, Saint. You've spoken with RNGesus and y'all let's have something against me this time around. Although they have been really nice to me this season. I cannot make any complaints. I got a retold tale. I don't think I'm going to get better than that the rest of the season. I just did the Oracle offering on the Dreaming City. Quick Draw, Killing Wind. Range Masterwork, Assault Mag, Rifle Barrel. Enough said. It was the only other thing that I don't think I... Let me see. It could have gotten Slide Shot. Quick Draw is blacked out, but Quick Draw is available.
So is Solari. Oh no. Okay, so mine was just glitching out. That's weird. Okay.
I want to say that
not
Gunsmith
but-
may have something going on where things aren't exactly updated the way they should. But Quick Draw is available because I got Quick Draw Killing Wind. I mean, Rifle Barrel, Assault Mag, Quick Draw, Killing Wind. My range is past the range cap, and that doesn't even count in the range masterwork. So honestly, I kind of went overkill.
It's over here with too much range.
I actually, if I had gotten a handling masterwork, that would have been fine. Because what's the range cap on shotguns again? Is 72?
I think sounds right.
Without the range masterwork, I'm at 78. And yeah, the handling masterwork.
Oh, I had another one.
Where am I getting negative 15 handle? Oh yeah, from Rifle Barrel. So Rifle Barrel hurts your handling, by the way. That's new. That used to not happen.
Really?
Probably.
I don't think it did. I don't remember.
Them trying to. I don't think it did. Probably them trying to force people into using other barrels, or just use your stability barrel. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
I wish they made stability on shotguns work like fusion rifles, tied in that spread.
That's how they.
Oh, that'd be lovely.
100%. That's exactly how
it's basically like a hidden shot package kind of deal.
Should 100% work that way.
But shotguns are basically RNG on top of your RNG because of how pellets work. But I got that retail tail. I was originally working for a Waking Vigil because I never really got a fantastic one the first time around, so I was trying to get a good one, and I was just like, yeah, I'll go do the Dreaming City stuff. And then I pulled that thing, and I'm just like, well, I got rewarded for my time because I did everything in the Dreaming City on both my Hunter and Titan in one sitting.
So they said
where did you get this again?
Dreaming City. I did the thing for the Oracle offering. So you get the bounty, go play Blind Well, then you go and take that thing to where Marasov used to be.
Yeah, I'm gonna need to go hit that up.
Got a few armor pieces along the way. Got a vouchsafe, but nothing to write home about on that one. It was never. I mean, it would probably be halfway decent in this meta. I haven't tried it. But the rolls weren't anything to write home about. I got I know I had rapid hit and explosive payload, so flinching beast for trials. If you got a good sniper on your team, you can help lay down cover fire and get the flinch. Since flinch actually works right now, do not aim for the chest and hope you get kicked up to the head because it ain't gonna happen no more. Have y'all seen the videos on that? They've tested it already.
No,
I haven't seen any videos, but I've definitely noticed the difference in flinch on sniper rifles.
Yeah.
It actually flinches like you're supposed to now. So don't expect that.
So undo the changes to sniper rifles from last season now, please.
That would actually probably be really fair.
I think that puts snipers in a very solid place going forward.
I'm down with that. Speaking of sniper rifles, we have a theory here at 7CR that our podcast may actually be getting watched by people at Bungie. Whether we are or not, we actually have no physical proof. Just a theory, because we've mentioned, or Mr. Pyro mentioned, his changes to sniper rifles his proposal to make aggressive frames less appealing, but people to use other things as well. You want to relive that one?
In a fair way. No, let's not make the people hate me. So, idea was, so there are basically three, general zooms on snipers, right? 40, 45, and 50. Generally speaking, some of them might go higher, I think, but generally speaking, the snipers you're going to get and most people are going to use are in that range. Revoker, I think, was one of the weird ones at 35. And I think Long Shadow can go higher if you have one of the awful scopes.
Yes.
So what I suggested, and this was back before the DLC in last season, was because everyone was complaining about guns like Beloved and Revoker and their low zoom and all that kind of stuff. Make aggressive frames, have the 50 zoom scope, right? It's a bit higher. A little bit more, I don't want to say annoying, but you've definitely got to make sure you can't just, I don't know, you got to make sure you hit your shots, right? Like that's the thing about it. So aggressive frames 50, adaptive 45, and then rapid hit frames 40. Because right now you can get what is it? Distance Terminus, I think, has a 50 zoom scope, and it's a rapid fire frame.
It's lower. It's like 40, 45.
No, it's not.
Let's see.
I was about to say, this is why we were talking gunsmith.
45. It's 45. It's not. It's either way, regardless. 45 on a rapid fire frame. It can't. You're not shotting a super. You're not. I don't know. I think it would have been a fair compromise that kind of gives the lower damage frame types a use, while also kind of incentivizing, okay, well, if I want to be able to shut down supers, I better be able to manage that zoom and hit my shots. Kind of deal, risk reward. At least how I saw them.
Yeah, Twilight Oath was the one rapid fire that I really used, and that one was a 35 zoom, and I loved it. It was a great sniper. It between it and Bite of the Fox, it got me Revoker.
I'm not saying some of them could overlap, right? Like, I'm not saying they have to be tied into that specifically.
No,
but
I get you.
I mean, as far as the general breakdown of snipers go, low zoom should be lower damage. Right? Because, who's using... So, if we think about this in terms of, realism, I know Destiny's not a real game, a realistic shooter, right? We kill aliens and stuff. And we, are undead space zombies. But...
Indeed.
Nobody's using their quick, you're not seeing people use, rapid fire kind of sniper rifles at the same range as, I don't know, a 50 cal, right? It just doesn't happen.
No,
realistically,
I feel like. Go ahead.
I feel like realistically, your rapid fire should almost occupy. I don't want to say they should occupy the same kind of niche scout rifles should almost.
I was about to say almost like a marksman rifle, because isn't that? Yeah. I mean, again, we're going off to totally different type of game, but isn't in Call of Duty there's a marksman rifle that's almost it's like a sniper, but it fires quicker and whatnot.
Yeah,
I haven't played Call of Duty in forever, so I have no idea.
They've had something like that in the past, yeah. But yeah, that would, I feel be a fair compromise, right? Then you don't have to do all these ridiculous things to snipers that they've done, and you could just nerf you could just fix flinch everyone's been asking for years.
Yeah. The thing that I'm noticing, and this is kind of off the topic we were wanting to go on, it's like Bungie takes the data. Because they remember back in D1 with the Trials maps, they had the heat maps of where everybody walked. Those were cool.
Yes, I love those things.
It was very interesting. You knew what lanes got used, and it would actually affect when the next time that map came up, because then people wouldn't go those lanes. You'd see fights pop up everywhere. But they're collecting all this data, and they're looking at it, and instead of saying, okay, people are using this, what's good about this that we can apply to other guns and bring that up to where people are using them too? They're looking, no, people are using this too much, we need to nerf it. And it's just no, we're using this because it's fun.
So let's look at what's that sniper that you were just talking about?
Twilight?
No, the one you had for just got this season.
Far Future.
That's right. So I was looking at Far Future. Hang on, bear with me. D2 Gunsmith's having a little issue there, but like, there's no snapshot on it.
Yep.
And like, yes, you can do other things, like you can stack up your dexterity mods, but it's a sniper rifle without snapshot. It's weird, right? Like, I'm not saying that there's not other ways around it, but it's like almost like everyone uses snapshot. Let's get rid of it.
Yeah.
But why? Why though? Really?
The handling masterwork with the dexterity mods will make it where you won't even miss it. Honestly, from what, because I've seen
like that's fine, but like you shouldn't punish people because they like the perk, right? Like that's, I don't know. Or even like, for example, like Frozen Orbit, Snapshot, and Quick Draw, and Opening Shot are all in the last column, along with Box Breathing. All in the last column of the sniper rifle.
Mm-hmm.
Now I get Killing Wind is in the other one. No Distractions is in the other one. Moving Target is in the other one. You could even say Firmly Planted is in the other one. But rewards, I mean, like, there are a lot of fun and interesting rewards and stuff that we can build this season, right? Like I think we all can kind of agree off that. There are a lot of more interesting guns, this season than there were last season.
Sure, yeah.
And we haven't even gotten to Iron Banner or anything like that yet, or even, past the first weekend of trials.
Yeah.
There are just questionable things that, like, okay, all these people use Opening Shot, Snapshot, Quick Draw on their snipers. Let's make them choose between one of them. They can't have two of them. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know.
But I mean, that's the thing, though. Like, so I can understand.
I'm not saying every gun has to work that way, but it's a very clear. We know you guys like this, so we're going to make you choose.
Yeah.
You can't have exactly what you want, which is an odd thing to do.
The other thing I could see is, like, some perks immediately get overshadowed and looked over if those two perks are in the column, so that a perfectly good roll gets thrown out. The one I have right now that I'm enjoying really well is actually Surplus Opening Shot with a reload masterwork, and I don't even know what barrel I have. It's nothing to write home about. But Surplus makes it feel really good. It makes it feel like I have Quick Draw without actually having to have Quick Draw, long as my abilities are up. And the way I play, I don't spam abilities much. I kind of wait and use them in conjunction with when I see my teammates doing stuff. Fun fact, if I saw correctly, 2 Dust Field grenades from opposite people actually end up freezing immediately because it counts as a double slow and freezes. So, if you see a dust field on there, you might want to throw yours on top of that too, because you could instant freeze people, I think. Otherwise, the dude was just really unlucky. He got frozen immediately. But I can understand why they're doing it. I mean, it does look like they're just like, no, you can only have one. There must be one.
It is 100% because they want us to use one. Luke Smith even like. Yeah. It's 100% a Lucas Smith thing, right? Like it's all these people are using Breakneck. They don't use anything else. It's a problem.
But I mean, that's just the nature of Destiny players. Like if they want to use.
That's the thing, though. Like, why are you? You shouldn't.
Okay, let's say that you keep putting Quick Draw and Snapshot available on both sides.
Right.
The only way to get people to use something else would be to increase or to make something even better than that. And then that's what creates power creep.
False. 100% false. Just make more interesting perks. Like they
make more interesting perks, and by making more interesting perks, you get the pinnacles. You get the micro missile on a grenade launcher. You get the Master of Arms on an SMG. You get the I missed a shot. Give me my bullet back.
They literally made other interesting perks this season.
They did, but
impulse
Do any of
amplifier.
those perks make you want to put down Quick Draw Snapshot?
Yes.
It depends, honestly. I mean, I see what okay. From one side, I see
Quick draw isn't
it
mandatory.
makes sense on a developer point of view, like where you would want to put Quick Draw Snapshot in the same perk whatever lane, so that people don't just pick that all the time. But on the other side, I understand that Pyro's like saying it shouldn't be that way. You know what I mean? Like we shouldn't be like forced to like not pick these just because the developers are like, oh, they're using it all the time. Let's put these over here so that they can't use it all the time and they pick something else. I think he's trying to say like, keep making that reconstruction, keep making that impulse amplifier, keep making that frenzy. These are badass perks. I'm so sure they can keep doing this and still have the snapshot, quick draw, etc. And still make them useful and viable.
Play how you want to play, right? That's what we were sold on with Destiny, right? That's literally what was the selling point.
Telling us at least.
Yeah, right. Like that's the selling point. Play how you want to play. Why is it play how you want to play within the confines of my rules? Right? Like that's how I see it. And I'm not saying that there aren't good perks that get overshadowed by some people. Right? There are. Some people are just going to want their quick draw snapshot. And like, you know what? They should be able to have that. But people who want to be able to use something else should have that option as well. Like there's no reason that one of those two guns, one of those two snipers that came out this season can't have, quick draw snapshot. While the
My
other
solution, make it where every gun, the first column, has something to do with movement of whether stowing, drawing the gun, ADSing, movement of your character, something like that. So your wellspring, or not wellspring, surplus, opening shot, snapshot, quick draw, things that are going to affect the movement of the gun. No, opening shot would be in the last column. The second column, or the last column of perks, will be something that affects damage, bullet, ability regen, anything like that. So your wellspring, your kill clip, your whatnot. Make it like that on every gun, so that way there's no question. It's like, okay, you get a movement ability and a damage ability, or a ability regen ability.
That's a good solution. But look at it this way, right? Like due to the sniper changes last season, right? They changed them to the point where like a lot of people were just not sniping anymore, correct?
I still was, but yeah.
You still were, but that doesn't
I know
mean
I'm an exception to the rule because I tend to I loved sniping, so I'm like, gimme.
So there were a lot of people, right, who just stopped sniping last season. To counter the way to kind of make snipers feel almost like they did last season, or before last season, was to put opening shot on it, right? Get a roll with opening shot. So it feels like Bungie saw, okay, everyone's using opening shot on their snipers. Snapshot, opening shot, we can't have that. Like that's literally how it kind of feels to me. Is they saw something and without understanding why it was happening, they changed it. That's my point. I don't think they fully understand sometimes when they make changes. So like they made a change to sniper rifles, so the community reacted and found a solution to make snipers feel better, right? Like that's so either A, they didn't account for it when they made the original changes, which 100% probably happened due to COVID and stuff like that. Or, they just didn't really consider it because honestly, I feel like sometimes people don't consider Crucible like at all.
Distinct possibility. I mean, that we could go around and around on this. Yeah. It's going to be...
Yeah. So, but I mean, like, it's just one of those little things that, like... Did it need to happen? No. Is it happening? Yeah. Hopefully it changes back. Like, will I survive without my quick draw snapshot on a sniper rifle? Yeah, probably. But it would be nice to have it.
I'm not going to argue that it will be nice to have it. It just... I feel like this is right? Having the mentality like this about it is very similar to the whole stasis arguments where it's new, it's in game, this is the way things are, adapt. What can you do to make it better? And that's the knee jerk that people, like with Stasis, people really don't want to adapt. Yes, some things are absolutely busted. I mean, it's not fair that Warlocks don't have a way to smash opponents like what Titans and Hunters do when they're frozen. I totally agree. They should have a way to do that. The whole thing with the guns is just like people not wanting to adapt to Stasis. Like whether we like it or not, this isn't a War of the Cabal. This is the way the game is right now. Like, we can't change it in this instant. I'm sure if we yell at Bungie enough, eventually something could possibly change, but that's not a thing that we should count on. We'd be better off using our time to try and figure out, okay, how do I play this? How do I adapt to this? And Drewski actually said something on Twitter, and I like the feel of, I like what he said. He said, we're to the point now where in the game it's not so much about building your skill, it's about how you build your deck, and it's how you build your kit going into the Crucible. If you're gonna be playing with Stasis or against Stasis, how can you combat it? Sunspots are amazing. If you have not played Bottom Tree Sunbreaker, grab it. Grab easy way to proc sunspots, Jotun. If you're good with your abilities, don't worry about it. Grab that with Ace of Spades. Sit in Sunspot with Phoenix Cradle, so you get to carry Sunspots or Sun Warrior with you for 10 seconds. Ace of Spades with Memento Mori rounds will 2-tap while you have Sun Warrior procced. And when you kill, every kill in PvP procs another Sunspot once you have Sun Warrior procced. So Sunspot to Sunspot to Sunspot, all the way around, proccing those along the way with Memento Mori rounds. It beat Stasis. I got a freaking triple kill because of somebody standing in a Sunspot. It's doable, but you have to think outside of what used to be good and be willing to venture into things that used to not be that great. They are actually very viable counters to Stasis out there right now.
That is a lot to counter what is effectively 2 button presses on the Stasis side of the argument.
I'm not going to argue that.
You're totally right. Like, it's always kind of been like this, right? Where thing comes out in Destiny, thing is fucking P. Everybody's freaking out about it. Everyone wants to fight it off and whatnot. And I agree with you. Like, especially if we're gonna keep playing Crucible, we have to find ways to fight against this kind of stuff. Like, I've even started picking up fusions, which I don't ever do. I haven't played with a fusion since, like, I don't know, Pocket Infinity first came out. I agree with you. That was an amazing one. I agree with you that, like, we have to find ways to beat these things, but, like, it's also, and I'm going to use a Cody, or not Cody, Albie, who, as you and I have heard, really doesn't like Stasis. As an example, it's also, like, fair to, like, listen to them and just recognize that Stasis is worth, I think, crying about to an extent, right? Like, especially for the fact that, like, you brought up Sunspots, and yes, the other classes have other ways to fight this thing, right? Like, Top Tree Dawnblade can Icarus Dash out of Stasis bubbles. What is it? Middle Tree Arc Staff can block these things, block the tornadoes and whatnot, and turn them into their own, which is badass. But, like, what about the other 9 subclasses per class? Like, it's a lot to ask casual players jumping into Crucible to think outside the box and, like, do all this extra stuff to fight when they can just put on Stasis and fight.
You're totally right. It is a lot more to try and do to have to fight it, and it does take a little bit more game knowledge. It's totally right. And what I'm trying to get at isn't so much that it's just not worth crying about because Stasis isn't that bad. No, you're totally right. It's totally that bad. But I'm taking in the mind of I'm not going to waste my time complaining and bitching about it. I'm going to use my time in what I feel like is a more productive way and try to find a way that I can counter it with what I have right now. Because it's totally a problem. I'm not even going to deny it. And one of the popular thoughts, especially amongst here at 7CR, that The reason why it got shipped the way it was is to sell DLCs, and then it's going to stay this way to Witch Queen when the new perk class supposedly is going to be coming out, and then that one will be the OP one, then Stasis will get touched. If that is the case, that is incredibly scummy of Bungie. Straight out.
Well, throw my hat into the ring here. You are right to say we should try and find ways to adapt to it, because Stasis isn't going anywhere. It's not like they're just going to delete it from the game. Anyone who thinks that is an idiot. Right? Like, that's just fact. Bungie's not going to delete something that people paid for. That's just not going to happen.
Especially not something they put this much work into. I mean, Stasis, like, as a kid, is freaking amazing.
Yeah. So let's look at it this way, right? Like, you're right to say people should learn to adapt and stuff like that if they are going to continue playing Destiny. However, I think the other side also has a point to where people should be making a fuss, right? Like, about Stasis. And I'm not saying they need to be like, we'll delete it from the game, disable it from Crucible. No, that's not the solution either. It does need to be changed. It needs to be changed. No. So the option, what should be happening is both. You should be able to say, okay, yeah, you need to adapt, at least in the interim, until Bungie fixes it, which, honestly, I'm a firm believer that we won't see Stasis being completely in a spot everyone is comfortable with until Witch Queen, because we're getting aspects and fragments throughout the year. Bungie is going to want to sell seasons to people who don't have, the season pass for all of these, the year-long seasons or whatever up until Witch Queen. I mean, you can kind of look at it with, for example, kind of comparison, maybe not exactly the same thing, but Bungie dictates the meta every season, right? Bungie uses the meta to dictate, the season to dictate the meta. Every single season since Shadowkeep, right? What a better way to sell,
a DLC or expansion.
DLC or expansion by making things maybe a little OP, a little broken, Like, look at it, for example, Season of the Worthy. Or not, yeah, was it Worthy? Yeah.
Right.
Where they buffed the crap out of 600 RPM auto rifles. I mean, those they were game breaking, right? Like, they were just low skill bullet hoses. I'm sure it sold a lot of DLC or a lot of seasons, I'm sure that season, even though it, by far and large, it was considered an absolute mess after it started, they probably sold a lot. I mean, look at how dedicated people are. So we've talked about numbers for them selling ornaments and stuff. You can't tell me seasons don't make a ton of money, and the reason that they're able to make a ton of money off seasons is because of the changes. I firmly believe we will not see a balanced Stasis until Witch Queen. I would love to be proven wrong.
I think it'll come sooner than that. Maybe.
It'll probably be right before I shouldn't say right at Witch Queen. I mean
the season before, maybe.
The season before Witch Queen, when they start pushing the new DLC.
Yeah.
So when they need pre-orders, and I think what most people forget, and the reason I don't freak out about it as much, is Bungie is a business. Bungie has investors. Bungie has somebody that they have to answer to, right? That they don't just have a money machine. Like, Luke Smith isn't back there with money guns just every time they need it to make something, right? Like, it's just not how it works. They need money. It comes from somewhere, right? Like, these investors expect return on their investment, right? Like, I'm sure a lot of people got into the stock market recently with the whole GameStop thing, right? Everyone wanted to, to make money. Same principle. Bungie wants to make money for the people that, I don't know, they're the money that they took. While, yes, you are a consumer and you have a say, Bungie doesn't necessarily answer to you. They answer to the investor. Very true. I don't freak out as much, but the reality of the situation is Stasis will probably not be good until season, what is it? Like, in a good spot.
13,
probably season 14. 15, 14. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're going to round out our loot discussion and Stasis discussion there. We've got about 10 minutes left, so we're going to talk our first impressions of the season. Let's start with Mr. Gear Shifter. What are you thinking so far?
I'm gonna hit this from like 2 points. We're gonna start with the lore, and we're gonna go to like the the grind, the incentive. From a lore point of view, I think it's kind of dope. We're going in. We're stepped into another war with the Cabal. This time on multiple planets.
We've stepped into a war with the Cabal on all fronts.
On literally everywhere. I think Battlegrounds are dope. I want more than like 2, but I'm pretty sure we're getting more than 2.
We're getting 2 more along the way.
I feel like we're getting more.
The strike is considered is going to be a bigger part of it. Yeah, from what I saw, I was reading some of the.
Yeah, I'm cool with that
stuff.
From like a lore point of view, and like you have all these characters we've not seen in a hot minute. Like Saladin, we haven't seen him command anything since the Red War. Not the Red War, the Seema Crisis in Rise of Iron. It's cool to have him doing things, and he's mad as hell. He's mad that like the Vanguard's not been doing stuff. He's mad that Stasis has been running around. He's mad
that is the most angry Titan I have ever seen. Like,
man wants blood.
This gives new meaning to too angry to die. Literally,
and it's mad cool to see him like that. I think it's cool to be a part of this whole thing and be at the helm and like be at this war table. I like the lore is dope. From a hamster wheel, kind of gear chasing perspective, I think we're in a good spot too. I think there's a ton of new weapons to go after, a ton of new perks to try out, and the weapons themselves have like a million perks to look into. The mods are dope. Anti-barrier sniper rifle is amazing. I think this is a good
one shot,
like really nice band-aid fix for what was last season. I think they're starting in a really good spot.
Not even just the anti-barrier sniper, but the fact that they combined the targeting for scout and sniper rifles.
Yeah, that's really nice.
Super cool.
That's very nice.
All right, Fates, your thought.
So I'm gonna do what he did. I'm gonna go with lore. So I'm gonna go a little bit deeper, even.
No spoilers.
The fact that not any spoilers. So you have Saladin, you've got Osiris, and you've got Saladin, right? These are the 3. Even you could include Zavala in it, right?
Yeah.
You've got Saladin, who comes from the Dark Age, right? As far as age-wise as a Guardian. You've got Osiris and Zavala, who are both City-age Guardians, right? Around that time period, give or take. I'm sure somebody will end up correcting me and like give me like Zavala's birthday or something. I don't know.
But comments on our video.
He's just like, actually, you're wrong. No, he's just actually you're wrong. No, just but no, like, and then you have Crow, who is obviously just risen, very new, and you're getting 3 different viewpoints, right? Like perspectives and viewpoints. I think that's a very cool kind of I don't say synergy, but you know what I mean? Like there's 3 different perspectives from 3 different areas or eras of Guardian, right? Because we're silent, we don't talk, and we don't have opinions.
So our Guardian literally can't say Stasis sucks. That's great.
Yeah. So I mean that's pretty that's pretty cool to see the kind of the 3 interact. Like I'm pretty sure after a couple battlegrounds I've seen Crow and Osiris kind of, I don't want to say go at it, but discuss things. Same thing with like Saladin and Osiris.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean that's kind of cool. I like I think my biggest complaint, so obviously the main story dealt with the Cabal invasion. And then, this one, I don't want to say it's necessarily a Cabal invasion, but I mean, I guess in a way it is. Not in the same sense as the original, but it is. This one actually feels like an invasion, right? Like this actually feels like a war with the Cabal.
Yeah.
Where the other one, it did, but it didn't. I don't know. It just didn't hit the right spot. This one definitely feels like it. Right? Like it feels like an actual war with the Cabal. I like it. I like that. I like Battlegrounds. Lore-wise, I think they nailed it so far. I mean, we've definitely got a lot more to go on from what I've seen. Obviously, no spoilers, but I've been reading some of the whatchamacallit stuff.
The lore books on Ishtar Collective.
I haven't read the lore books. No, I've been reading the other God, what's it called? The data mine stuff for the rest of the season. I've read some of the data mine stuff regarding the strike and stuff like that, and I'm pretty intrigued. Some interesting implications. The lore books are super solid if you want to kind of read them before they come out. Ishtar, definitely a place to go for all your lore needs. But yeah, if I have to talk guns, super excited by the loot pool. Bottom dollar gives people a reason to play Gambit.
Yeah,
and like normally
I
don't play
guarantee
Gambit.
that's exactly why they put that one there.
I play Gambit maybe like 3 weeks out of the season, and then I'm done.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. Yeah, like I got Dredgen, and I was just like, I'm done, really. And then they were like, no, here's a bottom dollar, and I was like, okay, I'm in. But so, yeah, the new Trials guns, updated perks on older Trials guns.
Which will hit as they come up. There's a lot to even go on that. We were just trying to hit our
the sword. Yeah, the sword looks super cool with Chain Reactor. Just gonna throw that out there. But Battlegrounds weapons super solid. I like what they did with I actually like the Umbral engram system. I like it all really so far. If I had to give this season, a rating, probably 7 out of 10 so far. Right. Simply because I've had connection issues with strikes. I am having connection issues with Gambit, and I know it's not my internet.
So many people playing Gambit, that's the problem. Everybody's wanting that bottom dollar. For me,
and mods missing. That is my other. That would be why it's not a bit higher. The fact that I don't have hand cannon targeting.
I wonder what happened with that.
The fix for that: put that helmet that you want to put the mod on another character. Go to that character, then put the mod on that, and then go back to the first character. And then that fixes it.
And it puts it back in.
Just don't take the mod off again. Yeah, it puts it back on the helmet. Just don't take the mod off again until like an actual proper fix is out.
Interesting. I'll have to do that. With my thoughts, and we'll wrap up here. Lore-wise, amazing. Seeing Saladin back in the fray as a Titan main, I'm like, finally, old man is actually doing something. Tired of this, Grandpa. It's too damn bad. It's nice seeing him do something. Having the interaction between him, Zavala, Crow. It's honestly really cool because lore-wise,
gives life like a living, breathing world kind of deal for me.
Yeah, but I mean, they also all have something very in common. After the Red War, Zavala kind of exiled himself away from the Vanguard and everything. He withdrew away from everybody, very dejected and like that he failed and all that. Saladin felt that way, that he was alone in exile when all the Iron Lords were gone from the whole Siva fiasco that we helped end in Rise of Iron. Of course, everybody knows the story of Osiris being exiled for his stuff, and then Crow is very, very much by himself because of killing Cade.
Killed Cade? No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, yeah. Sorry for our we have one of our guys in our streaming group that he did not know who Cade was, and somebody just like went off on him in game. So be nice to your kindergartens. They don't know any better. But all 4 of these guys are very much have been lone wolfy people, and now they're interacting with each other, and it's a really cool dynamic to see. The loot is amazing. I really like having something to chase. I actually want to PvE, and that's not something I normally say. PvE and me do not mix, hence why you see me die about 20 times on a heroic mission. Anywho, moving on. I'm all about the PvP, dude. Like, I'm horrible at PvE. I'm so bad.
Same.
I know something that Chance said stuck out to me, that it was a good Band-Aid fix for over last year. I feel like this isn't a Band-Aid fix, honestly. I feel like this is the beginning of sutures. Because literally, what was it, 2 to 3 episodes ago, I was literally saying Bungie needs to lean into more of the wave-based activities. Throw waves of enemies at us, let us shoot them, have some kind of little gimmicky thing for us to do along the way of the wave, and people will love it. People loved Prison of Elders for that. Destroy bombs. Okay, let's go. There was... Faith has PTSD.
That sound in the Warden of Nothing gives me PTSD. Mantle of Mines. Yes. No.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh my God. No, please.
Absolutely
No
not.
more mines.
This is just like, I had literally said that they need to lean into this, and then they throw this out. And obviously, I can't take credit because they obviously were working on this before. And as I'm saying this, they were literally doing this. So it's kind of cool that literally something I thought that
I got you.
Hey.
It's like I need friends because I don't want to be in a Hell in a Cell match.
It was just really cool to see, and like the activity. I can honestly say I've run more Proving Grounds than I ran Wrathborn hunts.
Oh,
Side note, Wrathborn hunts, you do 5 each week on each character. That's a +3 power upgrade. So still work on your Wrathborn hunts. You're already going to be doing stuff to get lure charges while you're getting gold. Oh, you don't need your +3 light level right now. Oh, okay. Go step into trials and let's see how you do.
I would absolutely not. I am not doing Wrathborn hunts. I'm going to just tell you right now. It's not
for
happening.
For the +3 light level increase on something, I will do it. They're not even that bad. I'll take. I will drag somebody with me, and we will knock it out in seconds.
Gambit. I'm already doing Gambit. It's enough. It's enough of things I don't like to do.
Wrathborn hunts weren't even that bad, but at least back to this season, it's much more enjoyable. It's got a good replay loop, which is what Wrathborn hunts lacked. Yes. It was literally do your normal things to get charges, to go get a thing to turn it, to go play the slot machine. No, that wasn't even fun.
It wasn't even just do those 3 normal things that you would do. It was do the same things you've been doing for 3 years.
Yeah.
Because like, we didn't really have any new strikes or anything either. I will say, shout out to Bungie for the 2 returning strikes. When they actually nice. Yeah, when they actually do reactivate the Saber Strike, because right now you can't. There's something wrong with it, I believe. But yeah.
But yeah, like there's a good replay loop this time, and it reminds me very much of Menagerie. That play your stuff, get your runes, go do the thing, turn in your stuff. There's a nice way there. I like the fact that when you do this, you got to know which chest you're going to smash. Otherwise, you're not going to get the chest you want because you will get shoved out of the way by people.
Behemoth Titans, I hate you. I'm just saying it. The fact that I've gotten Behemoth out of the way several times, you suck. Just my,
Gotta go fast.
Pick a different chest. That was my chest. Get out of here.
That's going to be it for us at 7CR. Thank you all for hanging out again. It is much appreciated. If you want to talk with us offline, join the Discord. Links down below. We're also going to throw down links for DIM and D2 Gunsmith, and we're going to actually put these links in the resources section of the Discord, so you'll have access to them there, and we're going to show off more stuff coming forward. If you want to watch me live, you can catch me at twitch.tv/Tibbercat or Tibbercat on Twitter. And I'm on TikTok, posting a clip or 2 every now and then. So,
he's lying.
You can catch me there. Fates, where can they find you at?
Fates_Pyro or Fates Pyro, with or without the space, pretty much everywhere. TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Melee.
That's another thing we got to talk about too. We got so much to talk about. We have plans. Gear Shifter, where can they find you at?
At GaryShifter09 on Twitter, Insta. Yeah, so you can find me.
Alrighty, that's gonna be it with us for us here, and we will see y'all in the next one.